Toon Critic's here. He's just fucking here.
I exist for I am way too freaking lazy to make my own stuff. How original. Anyhores, yeah, Leap of Faith, a sequel to Golden Fox's all-time favorite episode, Super Speedy Alliteration Anal Fest 6032. I had a feeling we wouldn't see the last of these two, and, well, here they are. So the ep starts with Mac, AJ, and Apple Bloom taking a swim. Oh look, a wet-maned Big Mac. I can already hear a certain unicorn in the background squealing like a fangirl. And Granny Smith won't join because insert completely out of nowhere high-diving backstory that quite literally got written in because the writers are kinda douches like that. Backstory.
Ah, the classic pretend shark in the water gag that manages to scare some or all of the characters in the nearby vicinity out of the water. A gag that makes Why Did the Chicken Cross the Road look like a brand new epic May. A gag that I've seen over 1,000,000 times and I'm not even exaggerating. A gag that has been made in every single thing involving water ever conceived by man. Some think it has its roots in the popular shark movie Jaws. But what they don't know is that the shark fin gag predates that by about 400 billion years. Long before the Earth was formed, longer even than that of the universe itself, before time, before the concept of reality, before the concept of concepts, there was the shark fin gag. And man, it's never been funny, has it?
Oh, they're letting him laugh now. Okay, wow, first he sings and now he laughs. It's like the writers actually care about him.
Yeah, throughout the episode, as well as the entire season, Big Mac is now officially interesting. He's finally got some emotion in his voice, and I think that's just howdy dandy.
Yes, because heaven forbid the fan favorites actually get some development. And then we're reintroduced to the Flim Flam brothers, speaking of fan favorites, into, my surprise, another song. Do they burst into song every time they show up somewhere new? Imagine if they went into Starbucks and went through a 5-minute sing-along when they just want a cappuccino.
I'm surprised that you're surprised this far into a music-heavy season, but whatever. They do a little ditty, and like before, they get the crowd dancing and... What? Oh, they've been doing the bow-legged squish, or whatever it's called. What is it about these guys that prompts such a stupid dance? Going all boing boing is weird. I like it. I like that too.
First off, it's been 2 seasons since we've seen the Flim Flam bros, and I gotta say, I really like their new animations, poses, and facial expressions. Somehow they were able to copy the catchiness of the original song, and though they toned it down a bit, their second song is still upbeat and show-tuney. And the rest of the townsfolk get right on into it, even though they got pissed at these two for cheating during the Super Speedy, so either they just shrugged it off and forgave them, or they just forgot entirely. Speaking of which, how long's it been since Super Speedy?
Hey, why are they advertising that it can make you grow old? That's literally what Granny Smith doesn't want. In fact, that's probably what half of them don't want. Nobody wants to be old, at least not that old that they're showing. Old! Oh man, why'd they stop the music? I was getting into it. Stupid Granny Smith.
Yeah, I'm not sold on this tonic. I mean, it could be fake, it could just be regular old juice, it could actually be working and make old people swim again. Wait, what? How does that even... You know what? I'll question it later. Fuck it.
I'm glad you're feeling good, but how do you know it's from the tonic?
She goes to confront the two brothers, but instead finds out the silver pony that was supposedly cured before comes out of the circus tent repeating the fact he's been instantly cured. And when AJ confronts this Sylvie thing that sounds like Rob Paulson but is actually Ian James Corlett pony, guess what? The whole damn tonic shim sham business is fake.
I was expecting that. I knew the Flim Flam brothers were up to no good, but as antagonists go, they weren't all really that evil in this episode. Their phony potion did help some ponies get their confidence back. Through their brilliant salesmanship, they made a placebo tonic, which in a way actually does cure people. If it can make Granny Smith confident enough to swim again after 100 billion years, then surely it's doing some good. And when Applejack confronts them, they know that putting the decision on her as to whether she blabs will cause her to keep quiet. Because on the surface, the tonic really isn't doing any harm, it's actually doing good. And that's cool. Of course, all the people who have actual physical illnesses that use it won't heal at all, so I'm not sure how long they thought they could keep this charade up.
And you know, this is actually really smart of the Flim Flam brothers. Before, they were portrayed as villains who wanted to take over the farm and rule the world through cider. Here, They're just trying one of the new products, and yeah, it's not causing anyone any harm, surprisingly. The confidence part, though, kind of bugs me, because instilling confidence in someone is one thing, being able to heal broken bones and colds almost instantaneously is a little bit far-fetched to me.
I think they must have told people that the effects aren't always instant and that they'd need to buy a lot of tonic to see a change over a period of time. Which is good business sense. Evil, but good business sense.
Especially once they start advertising the tonic as Applejack approved. This is some dirty and clever business tactics here, given their past history. The next day, though, Granny Smith sets up a swim meet for all the healed people to do tricks and swim around like those fancy swim meets the high schools do. And I just realized this event doesn't really make much sense.
Things in Ponyville rarely do. It's a town of idiocy and spontaneous new festivals, where at the mere absence of a certain pink pony, everyone's ready to slit each other's throats, and all it takes for the children to become a zombie horde is the influence of another pink pony. Nah, it probably doesn't mean anything.
So Granny Smith attempts to break her record at high diving until AJ stops her, thanks Celestia, from breaking herself in half, and in the process gets her little rainbow connection moment when she realizes she lied at first because she was unsure if she wanted to ruin a good thing. That's some pretty decent development for AJ because it's a matter of putting others' needs in front of your own. AJ busts the Flim Flam brothers and they scurry off like the pansies they are. Silver, realizing he was trying to make money off of a scam, gives AJ the one bit he made off of the sales, and we see that said bit is actually a key.
You know, this key moment is okay, but it seems a little easy, for lack of a better term. Applejack is not used to lying. This whole season we've been reminded all too often that Applejack is the honest one. Even though in seasons 1 to 3 it's never really been that apparent. She's often told white lies to get through situations. Only in season 4 has there been an emphasis on Applejack's element.
Yeah, you were pretty rotten. Wow, Applejack. I know your thing is honesty, but come on!
And to this day, I still don't really know if she's supposed to be honest or not. They keep telling us she is, but very rarely does it actually come into play. But here she's going against what they've been drilling into us. Instead of being honest to a fault, she's lying. Sure, it's a white lie, and yes, it's to make Granny Smith happy, but she's doing something clearly uncomfortable for her, which makes this revelation that telling the truth is the right thing to do kinda obvious. Of course she'd tell on them. Granny Smith nearly killed herself. All these other ponies are going to buy this fake tonic that won't fix their broken bones and illnesses of varying descriptions. There's no reason Applejack should have a hard time just coming out and telling the truth right then and there. Are we really supposed to believe that Applejack really takes her credibility, her post as the most honest and dependable pony in Ponyville that seriously? That she would, even for a second, think of continuing the charade? I mean look, why, just say it. It's obvious. You don't need a revelation, you're honest all the time, according to season 4. I don't know anymore. Is Applejack an honest pony or not? Season 1 to 3 says, not really. Season 4 says, of course she is, except for this one episode where she's supposed to be all about honesty. I don't get it.
Here may not be one of the best exceptions, but it does add to AJ's development. I think if you look at it from a certain perspective, it kinda makes sense. Flim and Flam and AJ were all in a sense lying, but there was good intentions behind some of these lies. Lying is never right, but sometimes lies are necessary to keep things going. And I know this from personal experience. AJ's credibility is still there in some form because she didn't want to ruin things. Yeah, the tonic was a lie, but the confidence instilled in people wasn't. And then having it be a lie, it might bring down people or it might make them stronger. It's the excuse behind it that works. I'll use Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince as an example here. The scene where Harry gives Ron the Lady Luck potion, he lied to Ron by actually not giving him the luck potion, but Ron believed he had all the luck in him and went out and won the game. It was a tactic, a means to an end, and that wasn't bad. Here it really isn't that much different. They were lied to, the townsfolk, but they had a firm belief in themselves that, well, yeah, they could have gotten through different means, but perhaps the Flim Flam brothers were trying a new tactic. However, that certainly doesn't justify Granny Smith almost killing herself, though.
It's certainly gone too far when Granny feels good enough to jump off the diving board to certain death. You know what would have been a cool way to end it, though? Instead of just coming out and saying, "It's a fake potion," and everyone believing her, what if Applejack told on the Flim Flam brothers, and due to her previous apparent appraisal of the tonic, people would stop listening to her and disregard her accusation, and Granny would try to go up the ladder to dive again. Then Applejack would take the bottle from Granny Smith and down it, and then do the dive herself, to prove that it doesn't work, injuring herself in the process. She'd be all mangled and bloody at the bottom, and everyone would be like, "Oh, she was telling the truth. Oh no!" I don't know, it would have made him a bit more dramatic, and probably out of place for a show like this, but whatever.
Honestly, Season 4 for Applejack has been a big "we're sorry you're no longer background pon letter for not just Applejack, but for all the AJ fans in general. She's gotten a lot of great pushes in different directions, and she's been in a lot of different and risky situations. Here is another shining example. This episode found a great balance and flow to work with. There were some good jokes, great visual moments, and it was great to see the Flynn Flam brothers be brought back, but into a different light, along with AJ. So now, we're 5 out of 6 keys away from the finale, and with just a few more episodes left, I can say that things are getting more and more interesting, and I give this episode 7 out of 10.
What he said. Except for the scores. Scores are for whores. I give this episode 1 flim out of flam. Well, time for you to go back to your own channel.
And how do I do that?
Stand still for me.
Wait, what? No. Whoa!
And that concludes the collab. Yeah. I got a fan art. I got 2. I got another one. They're drawn by you, bitch. Yeah. The end of the video. And then I sing about something else.